But it is wildly offensive to be referred to like I am a packaged product on the shelf. Like, I get how men think, but men referring to women as like marketplace things and having marketplace value, it reminds me of this white supremacist bullshit talking point. You you act like women are up on an auction block.
Believe it or not, more than half of the average men in their 40s will date women with less than 2 years of an age disparity. So if you are in your 40s, you can find a man that is actually going to date you, right? So that's a fact. However,
So
when you
Willie
get
Fast
to
was false
wait,
then.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. No, I'm not done. Let me go. So, but what I will say is that when
Hey, my
you
bad for fucking
incorporate
your name up,
wealth,
Sharon. My bad.
when you when you incorporate wealth into the picture, it drastically changes. So men that can actually do what it is that they want to do, right? They will not accept the same standard. It becomes drastically different. You're talking about like 75% of wealthy men will date girls significantly younger than them. So that's the problem. And you could simply solve this problem a couple of ways, right? One, you could actually date men that are within your realm that are easily obtainable, right? Or you could try to level up to the point where you can obtain these men. And I think that's the problem is that women are refusing to accept where they stand in the marketplace. Men understand if I was 5'5" instead of 6'4", then I would understand that I'm going to get less looks, I'm going to get less attention, I'm going to get less smiles, I'm going to get less people to say hi to me or nice shirt or whatever the hell that happens to me on a regular basis. They're going to look at me differently. And we know that. The dudes that are short. The short kings know. They know they're not going to grab the attention. Dudes get bigger cars because they know they're going to get more attention. Dudes hit the gym hard because they know they're going to get more attention. Almost everything that dudes do is behind obtaining women. But women somehow feel like their existence alone is able to obtain men. It doesn't really work like that. And I know we don't want to accept the fact that, and we're not trying to say that you're less of a person, but men in the sexual marketplace are going to see you as less valuable. Unfortunately, so for those factors that Dr. Willie done beat you in the head with for days and days, it is what it is, and we're all different. I wouldn't want to date somebody who is significantly younger than me. That's just me. But not everybody thinks so. And when dudes get a lot of money on them, the dudes who most of these women are chasing, and you got to understand this. The biggest problem that we have is that I would say every single woman on the panel's standards have raised. I don't think anybody's standards have gotten worse. And you think that you're doing better by that. And okay, I get it. If you say, look, I learned my lesson from this and I'm never gonna deal with this anymore. I'm not gonna have a dude who who does the nonsense that these other guys did to me. I'm not going to have somebody who's abusive, which makes sense. I'm not going to have a guy that doesn't have his money together, which makes sense. But when you start adding other things on there, oh, now I need a dude who could cook. Oh, yeah, I need a dude who could sling schlong. Okay, cool. Once you start adding these things on and your standards become higher and then your value is going here, you're not going to run into anybody who's compatible. You're decreasing your odds dramatically. You're your own worst enemy in that case. Men
Yeah.
have a pretty good grasp on this. We know what we can get and we know what we can't, and we try to stay in our lane. But women somehow can't really do that. And you don't have to accept anyone, but you can't think that you deserve one just because either.
Yeah, I guess I can make a couple of different points. I agree that I'm not ignoring the fact that a lot of women are insufferable, right? I'm not ignoring that at all, and but I think a lot of men are insufferable and they think that they're not, right? I think a lot of and maybe it's my experience coming on these panels and stuff like that. I mean, so many men who are just emotional, they just gotta raise their voice. They can't it's like they don't understand other forms of communication besides yelling and these type of things, right? So a lot of men have blind spots and things where they don't understand that you you are deficient in certain areas that might be very important to a relationship and they don't even know, right? But the thing about statistics, at least for me, like, right, I've noticed like when certain things are applicable and when they aren't. Like, so for example, I hear a lot of people who have been in the clothing business say, stay away from a retail business, stay away from selling clothes and all that type of stuff, right? For me personally, I think it's the easiest thing in the world, and I think it's one of the best ways that somebody can make good money from your house, right? So easy, like clockwork, like so simple. But other people will tell you don't do it under no circumstance because it's just a bad thing to do. So I just think like you gotta know when you you just can't always go off statistics. But I understand that sometimes it makes sense for the general population if we're just looking at it in that perspective. But you gotta know when when to apply certain things.
I heard everything y'all said. I just feel like at this point, because of materialism, like we've just transformed ourselves into a big marketplace negotiation. I feel like it's a lot of insatiable appetites, unrealistic expectations have developed. People are spending a lifetime purchasing identities because of society. We got induced insufficiency, actors inside of inherited theaters. What other notes did I have? We are performing, and that could be masculinity, femininity, intelligence, obedience, perfection, and vulnerability. Let me see, just a couple more than I'm laying. I feel like a lot of us are inadequate in a lot of ways, and that's what's breeding the comparison, the competition, the performance, the consumption, and the suppression, because you don't have to focus on yourself. We are beautifully trained prisoners. Let me see. If anything, I just feel like we need to just stop searching for relationships and just find your purpose and allow God to bring you a Boaz. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's why so many of us. I do think it's a double standard. Y'all gonna beat me up again with like single mothers and single dads, but I only feel that way because when you're a man and you provide, it's like an overlay for the underplay. You can hide or run from accountability because you're providing that woman and it's now a burden of some sort. But I ain't gonna take it there and go too far. I'm hearing everything y'all said. I'm just analyzing and synthesizing it the best way I can. I'm gonna land there and give it to somebody else because I got a lot of shit on this paper.
It is wildly offensive, and I don't think that men even care. But it is wildly offensive to be referred to like I am a packaged product on the shelf. Like, I get how men think, but men referring to women as like marketplace things and having marketplace value, it reminds me of this white supremacist bullshit talking point. You act like women are up on the auction block and y'all are buying us. It is wildly offensive. Now y'all do what you want to do. Feel how you want to feel, talk how you want to talk. But I'm just letting you know so that you understand from a woman's standpoint, it is wildly offensive feeling like a product being bought. And that has been said tonight. To be bought, to be purchased. Those words were actually used. And you sound like white men buying slaves on the auction block. And y'all really need to stop that. No, you don't. You do what you want to do. But I don't want, I never, ever will date a man who will refer to me as a product ready to be bought. Y'all need to know that that is wildly offensive. Like, I get it, but that's wildly offensive to women. We are human. That is why we feel like y'all don't really like us or respect us as humans because of how you use language. It is that language that makes us think you don't like us for real. It makes us think that you only see us as pussies and mouths. I really want y'all to think about it. I'm just trying to put something on your mind. I ain't trying to change nobody's, whatever. If you want to change, change. If you don't, that's up to you. But it is wildly offensive being a human with actual emotions, living a life every day just like you. Because I don't see y'all like that. I don't see your marketplace value. I don't place value on your life as a man. I see you as a man. I see you as a person. I see you as someone who has feelings, who has ambitions, who lives a life, who can be harmed by things, who can be pleased by things, not someone who has a value based on what you do, how much money you got, how tall you are. I don't see y'all like that. And a lot of men and a lot of women do not. A lot of women do, but there are women who do not. And we do not prefer to be referred to as products ready to be bought. It's disgusting and
So-
dehumanizing.